is hip-hop politically charged anymore? I mean, we can look at the 90s, and you look at Public Enemy and Brand Nubians and all these rappers who...
Hip-hop is dead.
Okay.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So
I'm talking about those because I haven't heard those people. Eric B. and Rakim, Public Enemy.
Right. The hip hop you hear right now is not politically charged. The blurred culture that you read and you experience is very much tied into what's happening today on the front page.
Well, the thing is, I don't think they're different. Okay. I think they're all the same thing, right? If you're talking about collective cultural expression, comics, hip-hop, it's all part of the same thing. And back in the 80s when I was in high school and I had to hide my comic books behind my math books, and I had friends telling me, bro, you're not going to get any sex if these girls know you're reading comic books. The fact of the matter is, the dudes, the hard ones, who were like fighting people from other high schools and whatnot that were following Public Enemy and A Tribe Called Quest and Run DMC and Grandmaster Flash and Kool Moe Dee and Eric B. and Rakim, they were reading comic books too. And they knew about the death of Jean Grey, and they knew about Count Nefaria, and they knew She-Hulk was a lawyer named Jennifer Walters.
And they knew Panther was black.
They knew it all. And what happened is, now all the secret identities are gone, and we're all revealed to each other as loving the same thing. Comics and hip-hop are all part of the same thing.
And you know there's a progressive hip-hop artist, Jean Grey, named Jean Grey.
So
She's amazing.
That's going on too.
I actually did her as a spoken word artist. You know what I mean? Like that's how different I separate. But you're right. She does consider herself a hip-hop artist.
And she's
very
part of this community, believe it or not.
Very much so.
What I want to say briefly, when you asked that question about whether hip-hop is part of this movement, no, it's not. Not this current strain of hip-hop. It's pretty much our thing at Afronerd Radio. We try to rep for Afro-punk. I think Afro-punk might represent urban alternative culture, which is where we should be right now. This represents urban alternative culture. So when you even asked earlier about what is a blerd, or maybe even an Afro-nerd, same thing. It's more about being not necessarily always erudite, but just having alternate interests. Not being pigeonholed to this box, this monolithic box that's been given to us. That's what's really ultimately what we're talking about now, is really being able to express ourselves comfortably. And I speak ad infinitum about Black Panther. Black Panther 2018. Folks, check it out. If I have to choke a Negro to see Black Panther 2018, we've got to see this.
Why?
But, well, on the sake of curiosity, I want to see if they're going to honor that character the way it's supposed to be honored. This is a king who has to be the most intelligent guy in the room. He has to be able to pimp slap Tony Stark and tell him, you are a businessman, or a businessman, or I am a king of Wakanda. I'm a monarch. It's a totally different thing. So to see a thinking black male, I'm curious to see if that's going to be done. We see Jaden Smith in a dress now. No disrespect if that's your lifestyle. I'm not even putting that. Everyone has their right to self-determination. But I think we seem to see publicly, we're not seeing black men as thinkers. That is controversial. So to see Black Panther running things, I have to see that with my own eyes. Will Marvel allow that? I don't know.
And
You do realize that we don't own Black Panther, right? Marvel does.
Right.
You do realize that black people didn't create the Black Panther character. Yeah, I did it. I'm sorry.
And if you don't see him running things,
I'm just saying it's up to them. We're gonna go because they know they want us there. They know we will pay money, whether or not it's bad or good. They want all of us there, everybody in this room there. So even if you go back and you say this was a terrible movie, they already got you because you paid for it.
True, but they say curiosity killed the cat. I'm curious.
I'm just saying if we're gonna rely on other people to tell our stories for us. And I'm not saying that it's not going to be a good movie, and yes, there are black people involved. I'm just saying be prepared to have your feelings hurt. Like in a Jar Jar Binks kind of way.
Well, we can hope.
okay.
We can hope.
Okay, now hold on. Now, wait a minute. If you're going to
saying.
mention it, you're going to have to explain a little bit more
I'm
about
waiting
that.
for you to just drop the mic now and we can expand on. Thank you, everyone, for coming. We love you all.
Somebody's bringing the pain.
Here's my thing. I am as excited as everybody else about Black Panther. I don't want to say that I'm not. And I'm not saying that I'm not going to support it. And I'm not saying I'm not supporting the director and the writer and everything. I'm just saying that the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and they got my money. I've been to all the Avengers movies. Iron Man 3 doesn't exist. But the first two movies, I'm out there criticizing it also, but I'm just saying in this space when we're talking about independent creatives, I think this is a problem we run into. We put all our money and all our hopes and all our dreams in people who don't care about us. And that's the only thing that I'm going to point, and that's the only thing I'm pointing out with Black Panther. I'm not saying that we shouldn't go and we shouldn't support it, because I think that's one of the things that we have to deal with. Like, on the one hand, you have a lot of people that are like, only support indie, don't support anything mainstream. But then there's brothers and sisters that are working in the mainstream that need our support. So, and this is a question, not an answer. It's like, so how do we do this? Do we, because the thing is, if the movie comes out and Black Panther and it's not great, it's gonna look bad on the director. And we don't—
Ryan Coogler.
Right, we want Ryan to be successful.
Shout out to that brother, for real.
Right, Creed is amazing. We want Ryan to be successful.
We have to admit that there are certain sensibilities that are at play, because they did decide to go this route. They could have given you someone else, some white male or white female, to produce Black Panther. So you do see there's something
Well, no. There is
going
somebody
on.
white producing it. He's directing it. Don't get it twisted.
I'm not getting it twisted, but we have to be conscious that they did decide to go that route, that they're at least trying to match it. When Wonder Woman comes out, they made sure to make sure that there was a woman in charge of that, as far as helming that picture. So,
Well,
I don't know if we should apply. But see, then we get into the whole gender thing, though.
It's not 0 or 100 to me. I'm just saying what is happening.
Okay.
That they have to acknowledge certain sensibilities.